What's up guys, Captain Blam here. So, I just wanted to go over some ways to become a better PvPer, a better player even. Change this to full screen, get my frame rate right. Alright, so I just want to go over some of the things I do in PvP so that I don't die, and so that I live. I think in my videos I've gone over like combos and stuff, but I've never super went over how to survive. So some basics I want to go over is obviously always keeping your buffs up. Always keeping your heal over times, your buffs rolling, your shields up as much as you can. And when you're taking pressure, always block. And for me, on my DK, what I like to do personally is block, vigor, harden armor, and the shield will actually shield your vigor ticks. So you'll heal over time, and the shield will protect that heal over time to get your health up. Another thing I want to go over is both light attack weaving and block weaving, which is kind of like this. You kind of do the two at the same time. So let's say I'm fighting someone, you attack and you're blocking, light attack, block, and use your ability. So you'll see me do stuff like this a lot, especially when I'm fighting Nightblades. I'm just always blocking, keeping my heals up, keeping my armor up, and you'll see me like puncture them in some clips maybe. And then I'll boss life, swap bars, whip. But I'm always blocking. Like you see me just block a lot if you just pay attention to like the gameplay in a lot of my clips. Whenever I'm like rebuffing, like, oh I need my armor, I need my vigor, I'm always blocking. I'm always blocking. And then if you need to, light attack, or heavy attack I mean, buff, block, heavy attack, block, just to kind of keep your stam up a little bit. So that's one of the ways that I just keep alive. I'm just always block weaving everything. And when I'm kiting, you'll see me bunny hop and block. You keep speed while you're blocking by bunny hopping. If you're watching like gameplay and stuff, maybe as like a newer player seeing it might annoy you because you might think, oh, a sweat is bunny hopping, what's new? But it's actually very helpful to bunny hop because you can just keep your speed like this by blocking, as opposed to this. I mean, you can also sometimes sprint jump to get even more speed. You kind of just fling yourself. Another thing I sometimes do when I'm like kiting and stuff, let's say you jump off of something high, you can actually jump to cancel the animation, or sometimes maybe you get kind of stuck and you can just hit roll an extra time. Not in this situation, but when you just like jumping off of something. Jump when you hit the ground. Because if you don't, I can't press my vigor as an example. So I jump, I can immediately cast. That's another thing that you can do. I don't always remember to do it because the heat of the situation, but it's a good thing to always keep in mind. Another thing to keep in mind is always be looking for LOS. Anything you can kite on. It can even be pillars like this. You just want to dance around pillars as much as you can to break up line of sight on people. And you're always going to want to keep people like LOS'd away from you while you focus targets as well. So you can take one person out at a time unless you're on like a AoE build. What else is there that we can cover? Whenever you are healing, you also want to be blocking. So, blocking when we're buffing, blocking when we're healing, block heal, block buff, fossilize, whip. And you can just block, you can block cast pretty much anything. The only thing that you can't really block cast is stuff like D-swing. Anything with the cast time, you're left open. So D-swing builds, you might actually notice that you might be a little squishier just because you can't block cast. Unless you weren't block casting to begin with, then it'll probably feel the same. But you definitely want to be block casting pretty much everything when you can, especially when you're taking a lot of damage. And with all the ranged, like let's say there's some mag sorks that throw in frags at you and stuff. And let's say you also are playing a ranged build, you're gonna want to, let's pretend to have like crushing shock or something on. You're gonna want to light attack, crushing shock, block. You're gonna want to do this a lot. Same goes for like whenever you're running shields. Block, shield. You just block cast pretty much everything, and it'll keep you alive a lot better. It uses a bit of your stam, but it's the price you pay for being a lot tankier, so you don't have to press your burst heal as often because you're just pressing block. You're mitigating all that damage by a significant margin. And block is the best way to keep yourself alive, best way to be tanky, other than heal over times, which obviously you want to keep heal over times up as much as you can, if your class allows it. So for like Nightblade, Refreshing Path, and Vigor, or DK, Vigor, Harden Armor, you're not always going to be running Cauterize. I just run it because I like it. But mostly Vigor. For Templar, you're going to, obviously you keep your Rune up, obviously you keep your Cleanse Circle up, and you keep Vigor up. Keep all those heals up. For Warden, you always want to keep your Polar heal over time up. You're going to want to keep your Vines heal over time up and your Vigor up as much as you can, which will keep you alive and make you a lot tankier having all your hots up. So you don't have to press your burst heal as well. It makes you able to sustain better, because if I wasn't pressing Vigor and Harden Armor to keep myself alive and blocking at the same time, instead, you would find me spamming my burst heal, which obviously it consumes all my magicka, which is not good. So you always want to try and stay alive just through heal over times and block mitigation to mitigate the amount of presses that you have to do on your burst heal. Only press it when you're in emergency, otherwise you block cast your heal over times. Anyways, I just wanted to mostly go over block casting and how I stay alive, because obviously you probably know how to press your buttons to do damage, but being defensive while being offensive is an entirely different story, so I hope maybe y'all learn something from this. Thanks for watching.